Hi and welcome to Melrose Profiles. I'm Leonard Kaplan, and with me right now is Mrs. Connie O'Connor, the secretary from the guidance department, who's been here for many years, a little longer than me, a lot longer than me maybe, and because she introduced me to everybody here when I came here. And thanks for coming to the show.
You're welcome.
So, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. So now, let's begin at the beginning.
Okay.
How you became a guidance counselor secretary to guidance counselors.
Okay. Let's see. I started here in Melrose in 1984 at the Lincoln School, as secretary at the Lincoln School, and I was asked to go to the middle school, and I went to the middle school in the main office, and I worked there with Mr. LaRosa and Mr. Nagel, Mr. Garapay. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. When there was a transition and everyone retired and Mr. Garapay moved to the high school and blah, 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 I was asked to go to the high school. So I did, and that was, I don't know, 15 or 16 years ago. And I've been here ever since, and I really enjoy it.
So you really enjoy it. Now, you have a lot of fun here, I think.
I do.
And I know it's a lot of fun in the lunchroom when you kind of hold court and you tell stories and stuff like that. I know you're not going to do that here.
No, I won't.
But, you know, what causes, you have such a really nice, positive attitude, I think.
Oh, thank you.
And you're always the organizer of, you know, little parties and happy birthday and Christmas and all that stuff. What causes you to have all this? You're never a gloomy Gus.
I am gloomy at times.
But you don't show it.
Well, not here anyway.
Not here, no.
Not here, not here. But I think that everyone has a work face, they have a home face, they have their friend face, you know. And when I'm here at work, I like to tend to business. I like to make sure things are organized, but yet I like to see people with smiles on their faces. I tend to...
and you're always the person to bring in like a cake or something like that and leave it.
Oh yeah, I think that's
people.
my Italian heritage.
The coupon book that you brought the other week.
The coupon book, yeah, you know, if I can be of any, if anyone would like something.
Most people are more, I hate to say it, selfish than that.
Well, I think that...
not here.
Well, not necessarily.
Saying anybody specific.
Right, right. I just think that people are just, you know, just keep to themselves more, whereas I try to interact with everyone, and I think that's just my personality. I've always been like that.
And no matter what building you're in, I think that happens. Because some people say that there's a difference between the old middle school building, where I guess you worked for a while, and this building, and they say that this building, because of the architecture, is not conducive to people getting together, and it keeps people separate.
I think that's true.
Do you agree with that?
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. I found the middle school. I think the middle school, the people were. I think because of the administration there at the time, the administration, they more or less insisted that the faculty get together, and they used to have these little things, you know, after school, in the mornings, breakfasts and things like that, and it made the staff a little bit more, you know, a little bit more together.
But that's when the high school was in the middle school building. It wasn't officially the middle school.
Oh no. I was there when it was I was there when it was the
high school.
Melrose Middle School.
Oh, it was the middle school.
Yeah.
Well,
junior high school.
Then to be fair, in a junior high or middle school atmosphere, teachers work together from other subjects anyway.
Right, they did.
So it's unfair to compare them, I guess.
Right.
A high school with a middle school.
Right.
What's your favorite thing that ever happened at work?
The favorite thing that ever happened at work, besides Mrs. Seeley coming to the guidance office, let's see, my favorite thing that's ever happened at work. I really can't. I can't think of anything.
A fun memory or an unusual.
There are a lot of unusual things that have happened at work. I think that I should have wrote a book a long time ago. I just kept a journal and put something together because a lot of happiness. I think the kids. I think the students here at the school are great kids, and I find over the years that I never forget their faces. The names, I'm getting worse and worse with the names. But that's the senior moment.
Now you instituted the clapping, those funny little clap hands when people get into college.
When the students,
can you describe that?
Okay. I found that when I first came to the guidance office, it was a happy place, and I think that I've made it so that when students walk in the guidance office, I want them to feel like they're at home, a pleasant atmosphere, and I want them to, we open our arms, and I mean, there are times when I literally open my arms, and there are some, some students that when they walk in the office, they need some compassion, and I see that they get it as soon as they walk in. And
oh my God, did you hear that?
as far as the college acceptances go, I used to get so excited when the students used to come in and tell us about the college acceptances. I would clap and do this and that, and I think it was one of the students in the class of 2000 or 1990. I think the class of 2000. Someone gave me the clappers because I was always clapping, and
that duplicates like 10 people
exactly,
clapping.
Yeah. So I just found one day when a student came in and told us that he or she was accepted to a college, I took the clapper out and I started clapping it. So now, Mrs. Sealy and myself, we both have clappers, and we've got to the point now when a student comes into the office, we use the clappers. In addition to that, students do clap, and everyone knows that someone got accepted. The student then, I give them a star, and they document it and let us know what schools they've got accepted to. And we put it on our big board, and it's
that's
great.
A lot of fun. See, that's the thing. You make things fun.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean?
Thank you.
Okay, shall we do our Italian thing? Buongiorno, Giovanna. Come stai?
Bene, grazie. E tu?
Non ci male, grazie.
Now, how did we discover that one?
We both had the same Italian record when we went to school. We didn't go to the same city or the same school, but we did that one year, and we fooled the guidance office people into thinking that we were really speaking Italian.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
Exactly. But that was fun. In those days, it was fun.
Yeah. So now, you see everything. You see depressed people. You see happy people. It must be, as fun as it is, it must be kind of draining sometimes.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. But like I say, I love the kids. I do. I love working with the kids, and I think that's from being an only child.
I'm an only child too.
Yeah.
You knew that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you worked also before that, you worked in Billerica High.
I worked,
And one of my good friends, Jim Quinlan, was a student when you were working there.
Exactly.
Did you work in the same capacity there as you do here? In
Billerica, they have a different, process. They have every class, freshman class, a sophomore class, junior class, senior class, they have what they call a housemaster. And what the housemaster is secretary. And the secretary and the housemaster travels every class with the students. So you get to know the students with 4-year period over the high school. And then they graduate and you start all over again. Jim Quinlan I started with him in 1980, and then he graduated in '84. And in that class, by the way, was Tommy Glavin. He was a what do you call Tommy Glavin of baseball? He was MVP, and yeah, he was a major
so
baseball
he's
player.
In the major leagues.
He was major.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in the major leagues.
It's been many years since I followed baseball.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say. That's one thing that you and I don't have in common. You're an
Love
avid sports fan. And I couldn't care less.
Love
That's
football.
kind of funny.
Football is the best. My grandson plays football, basketball, and baseball. Yeah, it's great. Keeps me busy. My granddaughter does basketball as well.
Your grandson was with me in the summer program partially
Alex,
a couple of years ago. We had a lot of fun there. Now you've been in positions also where you've worked in the school but not working directly with the kids. Describe that difference.
Okay, I've worked
in different departments.
In the data entry. I've worked in the second floor office. Years ago, when I started in the middle school, I was in the main office, and then I was in the guidance office, and then I went to the assistant to the the vice principal.
Yeah.
And then when I came to the high school, I was in the main office. I went to data entry and second floor secretary, and then I landed in the guidance office. So I've been in the guidance office the longest.
So now how does that work? Do you get now, as teachers, we get a note every year. Would you like to return to your your same position next year? Like I have a choice. Like if I didn't teach TV, I could say, I want to go to elementary, or I want to go to middle school, or whatever. Do you have the same, do the secretaries have the same thing?
We have the opportunity to bid for another job. Like if someone retires, we can, and it's posted, we can go for another job. And that's how it's worked in the, in the years to come. But yet, if the administration wants to transfer us to put us in another office, they can automatically do that if they have to.
Now, you were telling me on another occasion that you had started to go to school at Boston State for what?
Teaching.
Teaching.
Yeah,
so
I
you were
wanted to be a
teacher.
teacher. Yeah.
Wow. Do you
Never
ever
finished.
regret not
Oh
doing
yeah,
that?
I regret it. Yeah, I regret it all the time. Yeah.
But you're happy and you cause happiness.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So why do you regret that?
I regret not being a teacher. You know.
Never too late.
Oh yeah, it's too late now. Oh yeah, it's way too late. Yeah.
Why do you think? Why do you think that?
I tried going back to school.
You did?
Yeah. I went to is it Newman Prep?
I don't know.
It was a satellite, one of the satellites in Wakefield, and I took a few courses when my daughters were in college, and then it just became too much of a hassle, so I just stopped.
So what would you tell people if they wanted a career like yours, like the young people out there that might be watching Channel 15 here? How would they go about it?
Well, see, years ago, and I'm not sure if they offer the civil service test. Years ago, in 1978, I took the civil service test. I was a teacher's aide at an elementary school, and I took the civil service test, and I was offered a job, and I took it. But I'm not sure how I don't know how they work that now. You know, I know that jobs are scarce, and you know, like when I first came to Melrose, I worked at the middle school. There was like six secretaries in the main office, not counting other offices. At the high school here, there had to be 4 or 5 people in the main office at one time. Oh yeah, and the second floor, they had a second floor office with 2 secretaries. They had a third floor office with 1 secretary. The guidance office had 2 secretaries. So, you know, we've been cut back quite a bit, you know, and the jobs just keep increasing.
The economy decreasing.
Yeah, well, right.
Now, could you have ended up like in City Hall or something like that, taking that kind of a test? Or was
I could have, right, but I chose to.
Oh, you did get to choose, okay, because those tests can take you anywhere.
Exactly.
Administratively. What other, let's see, the City Hall and...
City Hall.
Public Works, maybe you could have ended up in?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. But you do get the final say of the environment that you want to work in. That's good. I want to thank you for joining us here on Melrose Profiles. Thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll be right back with our next guest, Tim Morris, Coach Mo, right after this.
Hey guys, welcome to class. Okay, what I need you all to do now is take out the homework, which is to answer the question, what is the name of the line between the North and the South during the Civil War? Jake, number 7. What's the answer to number 7? What's the answer to number 7? You.
I didn't do number 7.
Alan, what do you got?
The Great Wall of China.
That's in Japan, stupid.
Bobby, number 7, what do you have? The line between the North and the South is called?
It was called the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, absolutely! The Mason-Dixon line, guys.
What? How? Him?
Yeah, this class sucks. I'm not doing this project.
Yeah, Cap won't care. I'm not doing it either.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You've had 3 deadlines. 2 of them were just blown by, nobody cared, and now tomorrow everybody's scared, and everybody wants an extension. Well, let me tell you, that's not going to happen. So, I don't know why everybody's sitting there, because you have a thing to do. It's due tomorrow. So what's your problem?
We need an extension.
You. What?
We need more time.
How much time can you have?
I'm trying to get 2 more weeks.
In your dreams, pal.
This glass of chips.
You got chips.
You asked for it, you got it. It's your F.
An F. Are you serious? An F? Yeah. An F.
Welcome back, and my guest at this time is Tim Morris, otherwise known as Coach Mo from Melrose High and the coach of the football team, among many other duties. Thanks for coming to the show.
No problem, man.
So you've been here a very long time. How many schools have you been at, Tim?
This is it. I went to Melrose High School, I went to college, and came back to Melrose and started teaching and coaching.
Okay, oh, that's fine. I thought you had told me that you had other schools that you had worked at before. I'm thinking of somebody else, I guess.
Maybe.
I interview just so many people here.
Yeah.
But now in high school, I think a lot of the high school kids that you coach might be curious. What were you like in high school, and how was your football career?
Are we going there, Len? Okay. I went to Melrose High School, like I said. I graduated in 1978. I played football, I wrestled, I did a little track.
Yeah.
I was, an average kid, I guess. I don't know.
And that was the old middle school building, correct?
Actually, my class was the first class to go 3 years through this building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this opened in 1975 when I was a sophomore.
I see. So you never had experience with the old middle school?
Yeah, that was at the junior high.
Oh, that was the junior high at the time.
I went to the junior high, and we actually went to school from 12 noon till 5 o'clock while they were building this school.
I see. So, okay, we'll jump ahead then. How did you become football coach?
Well, when I got out of college, I took a job here as a freshman line coach under Bruce McPherson, and I was an aide in the special ed department for 3 years, and I worked for another 11 years for Coach Mack as an assistant football coach.
Okay.
And in 1994, when he left, I was appointed head football coach.
I see. And now teaching-wise, you teach an alternative program, correct?
Yes.
How does that work?
I mean, again, it's a special ed program. It's a classroom that's, separate classes from the regular ed program. Teach various subjects in there, and it's not something it's not something that you can really talk about too much because
right. No, I understand. But there are whole schools devoted to that.
Sure.
Like in Lynn, a friend of mine teaches in a school like that.
Yeah. And some of the kids are with me throughout their school careers here at Melrose, and others just come in for a couple of years until they're able to go back to mainstream classes.
Right. I see. How have schools changed over the years since you've started teaching here and coaching, and kids in general?
Well, I don't. I don't think kids have changed a lot. I think the way sometimes that we deal with them has changed.
Right.
When I first started teaching here, most of the faculty were people that I had in school.
Right.
I think the one thing I would say is that maybe the family in our society has changed a little since I first started.
And that's everywhere, not just in Melrose.
And I think kids are coming from more diverse backgrounds, more diverse family backgrounds. There's a lot more challenges that they have, I think, than we had when the kids that I first started teaching.
It seems to me, isn't punishment harder to deal with today than it was years ago? It's more tricky and there's more liability to it, maybe? That's my impression as a teacher.
Yeah, I just feel like punishment is a part of discipline. Discipline is, instruction through constant repetition.
Right.
Trying to get somebody to internalize that discipline so that they can have, self-control and motivation to do things on their own. And then when those things aren't met, then punishment is just a part of discipline. But I think, I think it's only a small part. I think, it's different. I think I don't think it's all that. You know, again, kids haven't changed. I think the way that the adults deal with them has changed.
Right. That's an interesting view. Because I don't know. I've been around kids a long time, and it seems to me kids have changed a little bit. There's more, they're exposed to a lot more.
Yeah,
in
I
society.
think, you know, in dealing with them is what I thought you were asking. But,
yeah.
But I think, you know, like I said before, I think they have way more challenges and way more distractions than years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the distraction of the media, the cell phones, the
iPods,
all that stuff.
Yeah,
that just makes another layer of things.
Oh, I agree with that.
Deal with.
Yeah.
But it's also, you know, I think a distraction for them.
Do you think there'll come a day when there won't be cell phones allowed in the building or iPods?
I don't know.
Or do you think it should happen?
I think it would help to get everybody on the same page and focused on.
Yeah.
You know, because when that thing rings, it's the outside world coming in to kind of distract people from what's going on here.
The curiosity factor. You know, now you can go on Facebook on your phone, and how do you monitor that? You know, it's.
Yeah, it's tough. And that's, you know, I think a lot of parents want.
Yeah.
Obviously want their students to have the phone and have those things, but I think they should be, you know, turned off.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hours anyway.
Well, let's go to a more cheery subject. What's your favorite memory or your favorite part of your job or coaching or something? It's a good memory that you have in all your years here.
Oh, well, I guess there'd be a lot of them. I think, you know, people are really the program here, and I think over the years I've had an opportunity to work with some great people. You know, the first principal I worked with or worked for was Claude Croston.
I've heard a lot
really
about him.
Respected him.
Yeah.
He gave me an opportunity to be the football coach here. He and Sonny Lane, who was our AD at the time, those guys were great. A lot of the people that were here at the time when I first started, I really respected, and guys that I got to work with in football and in the classroom and you know, coaching whatever track. I think that those are the memories I have of the people and some of the kids. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, I mean, there's been some tremendous young men that I've had an opportunity to coach in football and track and wrestling now. So those, you know, and those are good memories of just trying to see
I didn't know that. You coach wrestling as well.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I coached a few years ago, and then when Jim Blyler became the wrestling coach a couple of years ago, then I started coaching again with him.
Now that might explain a lot of my students here are also wrestlers in that regard. Nothing to do with professional wrestling, folks, which I'm known to do interviews about. But what are the qualifications of how does a kid join the wrestling team, and how do you coach that? What do you tell them? What do you do? I know nothing about it. That's why I'm asking.
Well, you know, it's a sport open to everybody, just like every other sport at Melrose High School. And you know, kids come out. You just try to take them through the basics and teach them. You know, some basic moves, and you know, we had some first-year wrestlers come out this year and do quite well for us. So, you know, Jim Blyler really has a good program going. I think he's got a middle school program that Brendan Kent runs. So there's a lot of kids involved with that are, you know, getting those basics early on, and hopefully, you know, they'll come to the high school. and wrestle at Melrose High School, and really perpetuate that program.
Height and weight, are they as important as they seem on the surface? Could a good little man beat a good big man?
No. The thing about it is, it's a great sport that it doesn't matter how, there's a place for everybody.
I see.
The weight classes start out at 103, and then there's a heavyweight class at 285. So.
Right. Huh. Interesting. And the same as other sports, you compete against other schools?
Other schools in the Middlesex League, and then in wrestling, we also go outside the Middlesex League for quite a few matches, and the season pretty much just wrapped up for us last weekend. So,
what do you think sports does for high school students in a positive way?
Well, that discipline part I talked about earlier, but I think it's definitely a co-curricular activity. I think it's essential to teach those qualities that we want our kids to have, commitment, things that we always talk about, work ethic, commitment, discipline, just following through, being a finisher. I think so many times it's easy to, I kind of use the analogy of watching changing the channel. This is interesting, or there's a commercial, changing the channel, where I think trying to take somebody and be a finisher, complete what you start, and that'll.
Well, even through injuries, I see a lot of my kids, and they never quit. I've seen many kinds of injuries, elbows and foot injuries and things like that, and they don't even think of quitting, and that amazes me.
Yeah.
Because that's physical pain, that they do it through. They wouldn't do that for their homework if you got injured. But anyway, I want to thank you we're out of time, believe it or not.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us here on Melrose Profiles, Tim, and many more years working down the hall together, right?
Great. Yep. Thank you, Len.
Thank you all for joining us on Melrose Profiles this month, and we'll be back next month with 2 other guests. So long.